sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes.
3, 2, 1.
How was Christmas?
Christmas was wonderful. It was beautiful, especially considering it was on a weekend.
I know.
It was very nice.
It is.
Love it.
Got to wait a lot of years for that to happen.
Hanukkah was lovely, too.
It was, wasn't it? Didn't it wrap up yesterday, the 26th?
Yes.
This, for us, was the strangest set of holidays between Thanksgiving all the way up to God only knows what's going to happen on New Year's Eve, because we don't know what's going to happen, and then all of a sudden that 48-hour mark happens, and that's what her kids did on Christmas Eve. They gave a 2 days notice. So, by the way, we're descending. We're all
games.
coming to your house on Christmas Eve. And see, that's not a big deal, but when you have 5 kids,
it's a party.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you may have a big house, but still.
I'm a regular house. I'm just a regular little track house. Okay. But yeah, and then it was nice though, because we had set up everything we just left it all open from Thanksgiving.
We had a holiday setup.
Yeah, we have a holiday setup. And we had friends actually recouping,
Yes.
And
from
with us
surgeries.
Over the holidays. Oh, yeah, because we're respite. We're camp respite now. That's what we do. Oh, yeah, if you're having a replacement of any kind, hip, knee, whatever, just give us a ring.
Brain.
All right? Oh, yeah. Right? That's what we do. That's it.
A little brain replacement.
Best healthy cooks.
Yeah, definitely. So it was really nice. Looking forward to the new year. Do you have any plans for New Year's Eve?
I think that as in previous years, we're just going to stay up on the hill quietly, allowing the new year to come in. As the old year is just worn out, it's tired, and it's time to let it rest.
Right. Did you happen to have any time to do any of the welcoming the sun? Dominique and I did it.
You know what? I say goodbye to the sun every evening as I'm driving home because it's already going down.
I got you.
I haven't done the good morning. I'm up as the sun's coming up, but I'm not outside watching. I'm taking care of all the animals.
So you're not. It's not your day.
I'm going to make it I'm going to do it before the end of the year.
Good. That's awesome.
Before Sunday.
If everybody could do that, that's kind of cool. Dude.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So we have, for the last time this year, have some recaps of SPOATs.
Yes, and I'm telling you, records again, like I said last week, are being broken. I've never seen so many offers in all my life in this county.
Cool.
It's great. GPA is crazy through the roof. Mm-hmm. So let's get to it. We've got, first up, every week, Romy Davies, Santa Barbara High School. Romy, what's going on over at Santa Barbara?
Thank you, Erica, and hello, everyone. This is Romy Davies, Santa Barbara High School senior, reporting back from Santa Barbara, California, with this week's SB Dawn Sports Recap. On Wednesday, the wrestling team made history with their first ever victory against Dos Pueblos. Following their coach Mark Title's game plan to a T, the Dons beat the boys 39-36 at Sovine Gym. Key pins from Benicio Holland Garcia at 170 pounds, Jose Zapien at 195, and Austin Dye at 113, and Angel Parra scored a vital win at 182 pounds to spark the momentous night. Title mentioned how proud he was of the team for believing and sticking with it. In basketball news, a combination of tough defense, strong rebounding, and balanced scoring were the ingredients the boys basketball team used to blow past Dos Pueblos 79-60 in the Channel League basketball game on Friday night at the J.R. Richards Gym. The boys put 5 players in double figures as they snapped a 4-game losing streak and improved to 2-0 in the Channel League. Luke Zuffalato scored 20 points to lead all scorers, Waylon Finkel tallied 18, Carter Battle had 13, Owen DeBush added 12, and Tobin Shylock chipped 10 in a solid performance. In soccer news, the boys had an unfortunate 2-0 loss at San Marcos this weekend. They play Culver City at 12:30 this coming Tuesday, which will hopefully give them a chance to improve their standing in the league. That's it for this week's SB Dons recap, and see you next time.
Thank you, Romy. All right, we've got Valeria Romo, DP Chargers. Valeria, what's going on over there?
Thanks, Erica, and hey everyone, I'm Valeria Tiburcio Romo with this week's Charger recap. Starting off with boys basketball, they played against Berrien Christian High School with a final score of 67-47, the Chargers taking the win. Joe Tellerico led the game with 20 points. Then girls water polo played against Long Beach Milliken. The final score was 7-14, the Chargers winning the game. Girls basketball played against Chaffed High School with the final score of 58-38. Unfortunately, the Chargers lost. Boys basketball also lost their game against Mission Prep with the final score of 84-38. Going back to girls basketball, they played against Santa Barbara High School with a final score of 69-35, the Chargers taking the win. Justine Katz scored a career high of 28 points. Then boys soccer played against San Marcos. The final score was 4-0, and the Chargers unfortunately lost. Wrestling also had a match, but unfortunately lost 39-38. But going back to boys soccer, they played against Oxnard, where they also unfortunately lost 3-1. Then girls soccer also played against Oxnard with a final score of 2-1, the Chargers also losing. And finally, girls basketball played against Cabrillo and even went into overtime. The game was intense, but the final score was 56-53, the Chargers unfortunately losing. And that's it for this week's Charger Recap. My name's Valeria Tiburcio Romo, and I'll see y'all next year.
Thank you, and thank you, Valeria. Isn't she good?
She's excellent.
From the first, well, actually, she never really had. She's got no experience, right? But she's definitely has that Anthony DNA
the
connection.
Charisma,
She
yes,
does.
the
She's
DNA.
got it. She's got that.
Absolutely.
She's all day. Wonderful. We got Cardinals next. Bishop Diego High School. Sean Walters, what's going on?
Thank you so much, Erica. This is Bishop Diego High School senior Sean Walters signing on once again to give you the Bishop Diego High School sports recap. I wanted to start off by saying that during the fall sports season, we had 78 scholar athletes, meaning we had 78 athletes with a 4.0 GPA or higher in quarter one. That's equal to 46% of all the athletes who competed in the fall. That's an incredible statistic and something everyone should feel incredibly honored about. On another good note, we have had some incredible news as star girls volleyball player Eliana Arzua has been named the Tri-Valley League's most valuable player. That's an incredible honor that is very much well deserved. Last night, though, sadly, our varsity boys basketball team fell short in a 63-52 loss to basketball powerhouse Capistrano Valley. They look to redeem themselves, though, as they play at Moore Park today at 3. More games will follow as the Frosh Soft team will also play Moore Park at 4 and JV afterwards at 5:30. The girls basketball team hasn't had any games recently, but they will play at Fillmore on Tuesday at 7 p.m. For your soccer news, the boys had an unfortunate loss today as they fell short 4-1 against San Ynez. They will look to redeem themselves on Monday, though, as they will face Santa Clara at 3. Well, everyone, that's all I've got for your Bishop Sports recap. Please don't forget to tune in once again next week. This is Sean Walters signing off.
Thank you, Sean. All right, we've got the terrible duo. They're awesome. Rock stars. We're making them rock stars. Ambrose Partee, Sammy Schaefer. San Marcos High School Royals. The Royal. What's going on?
Thanks, Erica. It's Sammy and Ambrose here with your San Marcos sports update.
Last Tuesday night, the San Marcos boys soccer team took on Dos Pueblos and won with the end score of 4-0.
We had goals from junior Javi Elias and seniors Leonel Olivo, Luke Sheffy, and Jose Ramirez.
Boys basketball also had a game last Tuesday night against Ventura. They won 53-45.
Wyatt Miller led the team with 15 points, along with Micah Jacoby scoring 9 points and Owen Lauderdale scoring 8 points. Great job, boys.
But last Thursday night, our boys basketball team had a hard game against Royal with a loss of 59-46.
Wyatt Miller led the team with 14 points. Also, San Marcos coach James Kinsler credited Royal, saying, "They had us on our heels from the start. Our guys battled and hung with them most of the night, but we struggled to find offensive rhythm and get defensive stops when we needed them."
Our girls basketball also played Thursday, losing a tough game against St. Joseph, 76-33. Congrats to Michelle Rianas for leading the team with 13 points.
But they left with their heads held high with Coach Tiffany Sims saying, "I'm very proud of how we played as a team against a very tough, skilled, and high-percentage shooting team. Great job, girls."
In other news, our boys soccer team beat Buena 2-1 on Thursday with big goals from Luke Sheffy and Jose Ramirez, improving to 4-0 in the Channel League.
And finally, our San Marcos girls water polo team celebrated Senior Day on Wednesday with a 15-2 win over Ventura.
Senior Sophia Panosian and freshman Charlotte Raisin each scored 4 goals, and senior Ava Stryker added 3 more for the Royals in the Channel League win.
Great work, girls, and congrats to our graduating seniors.
That's what we have for you guys this week.
Back to you, Erica.
Thank you, guys. This is awesome. Let's do this. Let's take our break. We've got Dominique Hackett, and we've got a Hallelujah Huga. Last one before the end of the year. Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, this is Dominique Hackett with Santa Barbara Wellness Center, and we are enjoying a Hackett Hygge moment.
Ooga.
So, Hygge is a Norse word, Danish word. It's being used in the 19th century now, meaning comfort, cozy, soulful, all those wonderful things in life that make life more enjoyable. Gathering with friends and family, sitting in front of a fire with a nice cup of tea or hot chocolate, curling up with a good book and a blanket in this cold time period. So we consider this winter season our Hygge. So we're getting ready for the new year. And the story I'd like to tell you is actually a story about myself when I was a little girl. Let's say probably about 10 years old. I would watch my parents and the people around me craft New Year's resolutions. And I always wanted to participate, but I didn't actually understand really what the whole New Year's resolution thing was all about. And I wanted to do something that was related to me, something that I found special. And so what I did when I was 10 years old is I had my own private little ceremony. And I grabbed a piece of paper and I sat at my desk and I wrote down the different things that I thought it would be fun for me to accomplish in the next year, because I had heard the adults around me talk about writing down positive things. So I didn't write down any, I will not do this or no that. I didn't write that down. What I wrote down was positive things, like I enjoyed reading. So my goal was I will read 100 books in a year. And then I also wanted to do some exercising. So I wrote down that I would join, some sort of sport, whether it was tennis or soccer. I was going to join a sport. And then I also wrote down something about wanting to wake up early in the morning. I wanted to have, because I like the idea of early to rise, early to bed. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. It's an old fable or wise tale. And so I wrote down that I was going to wake up early in the morning. And then what I did with this piece of paper, after I wrote it all down, I folded it up and I hid it away. I had a special little drawer in my desk that wasn't really obvious. It was kind of like a secret drawer. And I folded it up, I hid it away, and I didn't go look at this piece of paper until Easter came around. So springtime. So basically, I decided to make a resolution around the winter solstice, and then I took a look in the springtime to see what of my resolutions were taking seed. So I imagined it as though I was planting a seed, and I would just see what flowered. And I was super gentle on myself, and I was just noticing what happened. And I started this pattern when I was 10 years old that I have done pretty much every year for the rest of my life. I've always, in November, December, I've looked at my year, I've thought about the next year, and I've thought about what are just like one or two, three at the most, 3 things that were a priority that I'd like to see me accomplish in the next year. But then I didn't really, fight or struggle with it. I just planted it as seeds. And then I noticed whether it happened.
Nice.
So that's my Hygge story. There's 2 things to this Hygge. One is enjoy creating your own sacred space. Create your own ritual. Create something that's meaningful to you, that sets the stage for the energy for the next year. And then the second thing is be gentle on yourself in making your New Year's resolutions, because when you take a look back, even having accomplished one thing, like joining a sports team, wow, that feels really good. That's a real positive plus to my life. So, so that's my sharing for today.
It's funny. I had a teacher, Mr. Walsh. I went to school back in New York, Long Island, and Rocky Point. And what he started us, first time I started doing this was actually in 7th grade. He was my teacher. And probably one of the best teachers. When you know the teacher's name when you're 61, right? You still remember Mr. Walsh, 7th grade. So what I did the same kind of thing. That 7th grade winter, I wrote a note to myself and I stuck it. And then what I did is I opened it the following New Year.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like a gift to myself, a Christmas card to myself. And I did the same thing and I put my resolutions in it. And then and just to see, measure off, because you'd be surprised what you forget.
Yeah.
what you put in there. So that's just always what I've done too. And I did it to this day, and I try to get my kids to do it too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like, I don't know, it's a little traditional thing. Don Sanders. That's what I did.
This whole business of how we cope with worry, stress, and tension. We live in a world where that's there. So we either have to have a hearty response to it, or else stress can stimulate inflammation, and that could lead to disease, but it doesn't necessarily correlate. If you read eminent cancer researchers, my mentor in our worldwide Sangha that's taught millions of people how to live in a more bodhisattva way of life, which is like you work for the well-being of others and you do what you can where you are, where you stand, dig your roots where you stand to build a just and more fair society. And so, if you're focusing on that as opposed to having feelings of anger and resentment, you turn those to respect and empathy and the other things that we were talking about. Then you make stress a spice.
I like that.
A spice that adds to your vitality instead of it having a negative effect on your body and taking you into the zone of disease.
Dominique just wrote that down. Anytime Dominique writes something down, now you're going to be in her journal. I just want you to know. She takes all these little sticky things and she sticks them in her journal. I want you to know, Don Sanders, you are going to be in Dominique Hackett's journal this evening. That is a big thing.
Well,
that is a huge thing.
This is important because a tree does not grow strong unless there's a little bit of stress on it. And Dr. Jean, you can talk about the good stress and the bad stress.
And we also have, I think, Richard Ellsworth, are you in the house?
I am.
Yeah, okay, we'll let Dr. Jean go, and we got Richard as well. Okay, from Connecticut, live, Richard Ellsworth.
Well, I was thinking about the New Year's resolutions and how I decide, like, what do I want to do? And sometimes just deciding what do I want is one step, and then how is it going to come? How is it going to happen is the next. And for some reason, I'm thinking about when I was roller skating, like 10 years old, I always thought, I'm going to get discovered because I'm such a good roller skater and it's just going to happen all at once. And so I've learned in all of my years that, sometimes things do take time. Like you said, it's planting a seed. And so really tuning into what are the things that really sparked a passion this year? Like things I might have been like, oh, I want to do that. That looks really good, but I wasn't in a place to do that. So I love the beginning of a new year to say, okay, we really want to plant this seed because it feels like something that could be important in my life or I will add to it. And so then just letting it go and it's like opening a lens. And now that I've planted it, it's like I have a lens so that when things come to me that are part of this plan or the thing that I want, I can see it better. It shows up and I'm like, oh, this is the thing. This is the path I'm going to be taking of what I wanted earlier in the year. So I just try and let it go and see what comes back to me.
I love it.
Beautiful. Do you have anything to add, Richard?
Yeah. So I think the thing that really that I've found to be really helpful when you're trying to create something or plant a seed is, continuing with that analogy is you don't want to overwater it. So sometimes what I like to do is I'll really imagine what it is that I want, bring all the feelings forward for it, and then just let it go and go about my day and not perseverate on it. Because if I keep focusing on it, sometimes feelings of anxiety or when is this going to happen will start to show up. And then that creates a whole bunch of doubt and can actually reverse the whole process. And when those feelings of doubt and anxiety come up, that's very normal. So you want to allow it, right, instead of fighting it. So you want to just be like, sometimes I feel anxious and just kind of allow that emotion in as just being part of the process.
Nice. Beautiful. All right. What we're going to do, take a break. We've got Don, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, responding to adversity, creative adaptation is our human superpower.
Oh, she's Dominique's writing again, Don. Wow. You just got so excited being in Dominique's journal. She's like scribbling away.
Superpower.
Okay. It's a superpower. Oh, well, let's end on that superpower. We've got Dr. Jean. She's got a segment today. And then so does Richard, Mountain State Healing from Connecticut, right after these messages.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. Oh, 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 oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, yeah, yeah. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Richard Ellsworth with Mountain Sage Healing Arts. It's been a bit since I've been on the show, but I love coming in and hearing this great conversation about New Year's resolutions and planting seeds. And I have a New Year's resolution that I would like to challenge everybody to take a part in, and that is coming into our own bodies, being aware of how we're physically feeling and interacting with our surroundings, as opposed to interacting with everything mentally, right? We have a habit in our society to overthink things, which can lead to stress, anxiety, depression. We just get caught so much in our heads. So I challenge everybody to bring their awareness, their attention into their bodies, focus on their breathing, spend some time focusing on your feet, your legs, your stomach, right? Do just like a little bit of a body scan, and try and practice that regularly and just see if you can increase your awareness of your body. And once that happens, you'll be able to actually listen to the messages that your body is trying to tell you. And that is one of the most phenomenal things about the body, is that it is always giving you messages that you can listen to. And it's a language that we've kind of forgotten. We don't know it anymore, but we have a chance to relearn it. And I think this is a great year, a great season to start focusing on that and listening to what's going on inside of our systems. And one of the things that it reminds me of specifically is this time of year, you have a lot of people getting sick. The reason for that is when it's cold, the body has to use more energy to warm itself up to maintain homeostasis, right? That's our normal level of functioning, where everything in our body is moving and functioning exactly the way it's supposed to. Chemicals, hormones, all of it, even, right? Balanced. To maintain homeostasis, the body is doing exactly that, right? It is forcing force is not really a good word. It is naturally bringing heat to areas that need it, right? It is naturally trying to increase circulation, and that takes energy.
It's so cool that all this happens without us thinking about it. I'm always amazed at our bodies.
Yeah, how amazing is that? And what it also makes me think of is specifically fevers that occur this time of year when I think of heating. And we tend to think of the body overheating as being a negative thing. And to an extent, you get to a certain point and it can certainly be negative and you want to bring that fever down. But a fever is actually one of the most useful things for keeping the body healthy. Fevers are induced by the body as a way of increasing the temperature to make the body inhabitable for certain types of pathogens and antigens. These are the things that we don't want in our system. So when the body temperature comes up, these antigens, these viruses, whatever it is that our system doesn't like, say, oh no, I can't live in this environment, and they die and move on. But it also allows them to stay in the body without progressing into something worse for a longer period of time, which gives the body a chance to fight them off. So we have these really cool things in our body called B and T lymphocytes. And our lymphatic system is a huge part of our immune system and actually moving things through. So what these T lymphocytes do, they're also called like killer cells or soldier cells. And you have things called macrophages, which are in your lymphs. And the macrophages put targets on the back of all of the viruses and antigens, right? Then the B lymphocytes say, okay, T lymphocytes, soldiers, go over and chase these ones with the targets on their back, because these ones are trying to run away. So go track them down and kill them so that we can be healthy, right? It's a really unique system, and it really is like a battlefield that goes on. And the fever is one of those things that actually induces this state and gives our body the support in fighting off these negative entities that we don't want in our systems.
You know what I want to do, Richard? I was just all this kind of smack-a-site and some-a-site and all those sites that you got that are in there that's helping us out. You know, we are having a really frigid middle of our country, and it's messing up and causing shortages. And
the weather?
Yeah, the weather we're having. And our friend, our co-host, Stephanie Forrester is in Ohio right now, and she sends me pictures every day. They're locked down with all the snow. So why don't we go old school? Because maybe you can't get to the store and you can't get to, but you have a pantry and you like your herbs and whatnot. What can we do to help reduce fever and maybe promote a better immune system since we can't run out to the store?
Yeah, really great topic. So the biggest thing, honestly, is onions and garlic. Really, really old school method. Most people have them in their pantry. If you don't, you can certainly put them in there. They'll start sprouting after a while, growing into their own plants, but they're still usable. And what you would do is you would want to eat them, right? If you can eat them raw, even better. Chewing up a garlic clove, swallowing that raw, really great. Right. Otherwise, you can mush everything together and make a poultice and place it over your chest. And that'll help to expel stuff and increase your body's capability of sweating stuff out.
Can you put some stuff on your website? And what's your website? Because we've got to go to break. But what's your website? If anybody wants to contact you, they can.
It is mountainsagehealingarts.com. The website is not currently active, but hopefully it will be soon. But you can also email me at mountainsagehealingarts@gmail.com.
Great. All right. We've got Dr. G next. Thank you. God bless.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Hey, welcome back. This is Dr. Jean with drgenetherapy.com. And I have a very special thing I'd like to share with everybody today. This is a bit like my side gig. I've been doing oracle reading. Some people, I started out doing some tarot reading, but I created my own way of helping people to find a little bit more information about them, right? To how to get some guidance for themselves, but finding a way to do that where you're really tuning into what is it that I use in my own body, in my own senses to navigate my world, right? To kind of delineate a little bit more of, how do you find your path in the world? So I created what I call somatic divination. So what that is I have a tray of archetypal three-dimensional symbols. So it's just basically a tray of toys, and everybody's like, oh, I want to see what's on the tray. But what I try to do is get people to pick something from here based on what it feels like. So although we're virtual here, I'm going to see if we might be able to do that here. I don't know if we want to pick one person today that wants to pick something.
I nominate Don.
Oh, well, of course, because he's in your journal. Not once, but twice. Okay, Don, guess what? I second it, and I'm the host, so you're chosen. And the producer, he's gave me the nod, too. Okay, that's a trifecta. Go ahead, Dee.
Okay, perfect. So, Don, what I'm going to do, you see, this is the tray. It's covered. So if you were here with me, you wouldn't be able to see anything. tray. And I'm going to put it down here. And you're going to like put your hands up and imagine, I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling, and then you're going to pick something. But before that, I want you to think about just tuning into, what is it that if you can ground yourself first, feel yourself in your bones, in your three-dimensional self, feeling gravity on your body, and come up with a question. It might be a very specific question. It might be an image or a dream that you've been struggling with or anything. And when you have that, share with me what your question is and we'll get a little clarity on it.
What's the best use of my time and energy going forward?
Beautiful. That's a really clear question. Okay, so I'm going to put my hand over the tray and I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling, and you can either tell me to stop and pick that one up, or you could say, oh, I want, let's give it a try. Okay, so my hand's on the tray right now, and I feel something that's cold and solid. I feel something that's got like little plasticky legs. I feel something that is metal and long with something attached to it. I feel something that feels man-made, but it's circular, kind of like with a hole in it, like a container of some sort. Something else that's square, very square, like a cube. Something that has a sound to it. Oh, there's something here that feels like paper. There's another that feels very fuzzy, kind of big. It fits in this palm of my hand. It's very light, but it fits like a solid thing in my hand. There's another that feels like a big, heavy stone.
Ooh.
There's another that's very, very light, and it has not too much of a sound. One that's very light and it's round and feels plastic.
Do any of these sensations appeal to you yet, Don?
I'm going to go with number 2, something about little legs. For some reason, I have my hands pressed together, and when you said that one, I felt this little stirring of warmth between my hands. I'm going to go with that.
Excellent. Beautiful. So here's what we got. Here is a little coyote.
Wow.
Oh,
So tell me a little bit more about how did you decide? You said it was a warmth between your hands when I said something about it has legs on it.
Yeah, just like a quick flare up. My hands were just resting together, and they didn't feel cold or hot. Any just kind of neutral. And then I felt like a little quickening, like a flare up of warmth. And then it stuck with me no matter what else you read after that.
That's great. And so now that you know that it's this coyote, you can see it now too. What comes up for you? What do you associate with the coyote?
How the coyotes cut loose around here in my hometown at night, and it's a great joy for me because we exchanged the police helicopters and the traffic noises of LA for this here in Ojai, and that sound when the coyotes chorus pierces the night like a call and response, and the other ones all answer back. It just gives me chills.
It's haunting sound. It's very beautiful.
I just love that.
Mm-hmm. And so when you come back to your question, right, I think it was something around what's like the best use of your time and energy in this next year. Do you have any connection with how does your experience of that special space that the Ojai is, right? How does that play into what you might be doing this year?
I think I've found in the last few months that I've been a lot more engaged in community and really enjoying just being here. I haven't been doing very much commuting away, which was new for me in all the 20 years almost I've been here. Lots of commuting away, and this sort of, being here where everything's 2 miles away, and people are coming to me and forming new connections from the outside, like coming up to have body work from LA and things like that. But I'm not going out as much, and it feels it feels very that sort of being in this container as opposed to running all over the world right now feels very, very grounding. And
it's almost like you've taken on the role of a land guardian for Ojai.
Yeah. Well, I think also just like the coyotes, right? You get a sense of your space, right? You hear them and you get that kind of, orienting to where you are, right? That there's animals and nature all around you, and that people, need to experience that, right? That when you're in LA, you don't get that, right? So being able to share that so that they can bring those experiences back with them.
Yeah, it's a very timeless thing. The sound of the leader barking and yipping, and then all the other ones answering in return. It could have been, it just gives you chills. It could have been 1,000, 2,000, years ago, or it could be modern day. It doesn't matter. It's like a timeless, it takes you out of that context of just whatever's happening right now.
It's nature.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I'm also thinking about how you said, so part of doing a reading with somebody is looking at how you decide, right? What is it about what you picked, what card or what item that's important? And I heard you say, I felt something and it stayed with me. So that's part of your message this year, is really paying attention to what is it that sticks with you, and what is that telling you, right? So it might be that it's a message that you want to continue, or you want to sit with it and meditate on it a little bit more. I think also just this piece of the coyote, right? The coyote medicine. Coyote medicine is so great, is that sometimes something shows up and it's not what you imagine. So not only sitting with it, but also going, maybe there's something else that isn't quite as obvious that I need to be looking for. So Dawn, thank you for letting me do this. This was really fun.
Oh my God, this is so magical. I participated while you did this, and I have my own thoughts about the thing that I picked too. This is so beautiful. Can you tell me what the medal?
This is great, but something we need to take a little break.
I'm curious.
Fill up coffee, did a little bend, got a little twist. We got new music. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Brazil. Back in the USSR. Way down in LA. Every day, dancing in the street. Crossing China too. Me and you, dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. We're talking about, Dr. Jean, say it again. It's the
somatic
divination. And the beautiful thing that I wanted to ask you about is, when you put your different objects on the table, do you already have some archetypal knowingness about the objects you have on your table before the person gets to feel them?
It's really such a great idea. One, I always pick different things for my items depending on what I'm doing and what wants to be here. But I pull from my own experiences and my own knowledge, but it's really working with the other person and what does this mean for them? And so we kind of go back and forth, right? There might be very specific archetypal pieces connected to it, but it's not always necessary. It's really
which one did you pick, Dee?
I love it.
What did you pick?
Well, so what I pulled from what Dr. Jean was saying was that I needed to notice when I chose what I felt in my body. And what I felt in my body was in my chest. And normally I will feel something maybe in my tummy or something, but this time I felt it in my chest. I felt like alive, like electricity in my chest. And what I picked was the metal long object.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe what we could do is everybody can pick something, and just like you did, say, how was it that you decided that? And then we'll pick it up and show it, and we can kind of maybe do a little round. Yeah. So that was this old fashioned.
Oh my gosh, it's a telephone. That is fascinating. So that flows into the question I wrote down is, how do I balance my life? And the telephone is the magic of how I'm balancing my inner life and my work life as I'm making more use of the telephone. That is so perfect. I love it.
That's beautiful. It's like listening, talking,
yes.
and listening.
Nice. Talking and listening. Oh, I love it.
Oh, boy, this is fun. Dr. D.
Fuzzy. The fuzzy thing.
The fuzzy thing.
The fuzzy thing. I think this is really perfect. This is so great. It's
a bear.
Fuzzy teddy bear covered in little overalls and a flannel.
Oh, how appropriate.
Now, what was it that you felt when it came up with the fuzzy thing? What did you notice?
I was noticing that I had some very nice, warm feelings in regards to this program that I was a part of over the weekend before Christmas at the Libero. I let my beard grow really long. Well, bushy, I guess is the best word.
For the Scottish Revels.
For the Scottish Revels. And then I went to the barber and I had it shaved off, and I couldn't believe both how large an amount, but also how small it was,
I'm very grateful.
And it was very funny. It was really kind of funny in that respect.
You're in your bearish state.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love
exactly.
This
Bear state. I like that.
This is more of a connection that I have.
Dr. Jean, what do you share to people with the bear?
Well, the bear, I love it when people pick the bear because people have a lot of reactions, and it looks like a little old-fashioned thing, but it's really, people associate it with childhood, a lot of like, what are the things that brought them comfort, right? What are the things that they might be needing, or what might be that thing right now that you're wanting that would bring you comfort. So that's what I would say about this one.
How perfect.
And I would even throw in that being part of that program was there was instruction: stay out of your head, stay in your heart. And it was like being a kid again.
Yes.
I felt like a 62-year-old kid.
The vagus nerve from singing.
It was great fun. Great
so
fun.
Healthy.
I think teens would get off on doing this. Is really cool. My turn.
Your turn.
Okay, that's all right, because I'm the teen. I'm the co-host here, queen of teen. There was something to do with paper.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. And so do you remember what
I was really, really curious. I wasn't curious about any of the paper or any of the pieces that you were trying to relate to, but then you said the paper, and I'm like, ooh, what is on the paper? I'm just curious.
Okay.
It's the unknown.
So before I show you, did you have a question when we were doing this? Did you have a question that came up? Concern, a picture?
I like Dawn's kind of thing for the future for 2023 because I'm retired now, so it's kind of like, okay, what is Erica going to be? Where's Erica? Oh, there's Erica. What's Erica doing now? Erica, the talk show host.
Okay. So this one's kind of funny because I don't exactly interpret all of what's on the paper.
It's not toilet paper, is it?
Oh, look at it. It's a scroll.
Okay, good.
It's a scroll. So it's like an ancient scroll that you open, and it has like a very important message on it.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
Oh, dear.
So without reading what's on it, what comes up for you?
What's on the scroll?
What's on the scroll? What comes up for me? I don't know. There's going to be some kind of message, so I need to know what that message is. What is on that scroll? It's very important.
But now you get to meditate on that.
That's the magic, right? Is that if you were like, oh, what's it say?
Right.
So that feeling of what is that scroll going to say?
Right.
That's important to pay attention to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's excitement.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I want to make another one of these and put my own message on it, but I don't know where I got this from. It's Judges 14 and 15. So it's a Bible.
I love it.
Which it's really long, and I don't know that it's appropriate to read it all here, but it's about Samson.
Okay.
So anything that you relate to, the Philistines and Samson, Judges 14 and 15, if you know those stories.
Beautiful.
Well,
Anyone?
I'm going to have to look it up. Do you know it? Dominique
I will
probably
look it
knows
up for you.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
read the
remember
first one.
Samson, though. Okay. He kicked ass. I like it. I like that guy. That's what I'm feeling for the future for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys, this has been a great show. You got a couple of days days left maybe to check out the sun. Welcome the sun. Write down your intentions for next year. We so appreciate Attorney Ready Radio for partnering with us. We've been growing. We appreciate the love that the community has given us, and that I hope that they feel that we're giving back with all the free advertising. God bless you all. See you next week.
Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today.